Now, let's see. Where were we? Ah, yes, that's right. When we last left our heroes, they had just made a hasty departure from the Prima House ball, only to run afoul of an individual known to them, and only to them, as the Butcher. A figure clad in a dark cloak with locusts swarming around him. He soon proved to be a most dangerous adversary. Without weapons or armor to aid them, and with Faunalyn on death's door from an unknown affliction, the party was in a dire situation indeed. Though their journey seemed poised to reach a sudden and gruesome end, the party fought tooth and nail using all they had at their disposal. Faunalyn was resuscitated by Clay and was able to drug their attacker with some of the previously procured drugs. This slowed him down enough that they were able to climb aboard one of the horses pulling their carriage, only to have their escape interrupted by the sudden arrival of one of the owlbears who call the forest home. The creature attacked Clay, although it soon became apparent that it was only interested in the crow ceviche contained in Clay's pocket. As the fight raged on, the carriage caught on fire and soon became a deadly inferno. However, before the fire could consume them, Faunalyn took some of the remaining ceviche and shoved it down the attacker's pants, while Glimki made a makeshift shield and shoved him off to the carriage, where the hungry owlbear lay waiting. Through a stroke of luck, Clay was able to revive themselves and pull their friends off the burning carriage. The last our party saw of their would-be murderer, he was disappearing into the night as part of a swarm of locusts. Left alone, but with Glimki and Faunalyn grievously wounded, Clay rode through the night, bringing their friends to the safety of the Dragon Hearts Cathedral.
You already said all that.
You already said all that. Sorry. On with the story. Come gather round, travelers, and sit on the stoop. We'll tell you a story about Bard Soup. Three lovable scamps in our traveling troupe. We'll tell you a story about Bard Soup. Hi there, partner. Seems like you just moseyed into the wrong saloon. This here's the territory of the Bard Soup Gang. That's right, over there. Meanest shout in the West. That's my Lieutenant Prima.
Nice to meet y'all. I'm Prima. I play Campbell.
Ain't that right? And see that disc jockey over there? That's right, we're a cowboy bandit gang with DJ sets. That's Johnsen. Can't spell DJ without JJ.
Yeah, I'm Jordan, and I play Glimki Treefellow, a pint-sized prodigy who prances playfully through pristine pondwood paths with a penchant for plants and potions. Is that enough peace for you?
Yo, go on.
That was unbelievable.
That was good.
Side note, if anyone's looking to replace a soon-to-be disappeared person, we might have a show for you. And over there is my wife, Shannon.
No! Hi, I'm God. You haven't been to church for a while, and that's bad. And I'm not saying you're gonna go to hell, because there's always a chance. But you should probably go to church again.
And I'm your bandit captain, Zach Meikle. Welcome back to Bard Soup, chapter 15. It's amazing how we get worse at this week over week. It's really ebbs and flows, and this was the biggest ebb? Flow? I don't know which one's bad. We resume. Following a near-deadly encounter in the woods of the Prima estate, Clay Campbell, you have ridden a horse through the streets of Erdenine, back to the familiar site of the Dragon's Heart Cathedral. You are bloodied and bruised and burned, and you've got this huge gash in your nice jacket from an owlbear that tried to chew through you to get at the Krosavice in your pocket. And your companions are unconscious. Yeah, they are looking pretty terrible. Faunalyn's dress has been ruined. Glimki's jacket was thrown away to preserve him from the owlbear. And the horse that you're on, you bring it to a stop near the entrance to the cathedral.
Can I carry or drag both Glimki and Faunalyn into the cathedral?
Yeah, I would say canonically, you're not strong, but physically, you look like you should be.
Yeah. Mechanically, no.
It's maybe not as easy as some people might expect, but yeah, Glimki weighs like 50 pounds, so you scoop him up, and Faunalyn as well, and carry the two of them up the stairs towards this big wooden door.
I knock.
Dum, dum, dum. It's quiet for longer than you would like. But eventually you hear the sound of the door unlocking and it's creaked open. You see a woman, a human woman. She's got gray streaked auburn hair that's done up in a bit of a bun. She's got these dark eyes. She's wearing a robe embroidered with a pattern that looks like dragon scales. And though you haven't seen her in quite some time, you do recognize her from your childhood. She was but a young acolyte at the time, but she seems to perhaps be maybe a little higher up in the church now, and you recognize this as Sister Pelliver Boone.
I think Clay just kind of like sees her and is like, "Sister, please help my friends. They're very, very injured."
Oh my. Yes, of course. Please, come in. And she pulls the door open wide enough for you to bring them in. She leads you through the halls of the church. You don't go through the cathedral, which is where you've been the last couple times you've been here, but she leads you through a different set of doors and hallways and leads you into what's not quite an infirmary, but seems to be perhaps a room for guests. There's several beds set up, and she directs a couple spots where you can put your two friends down. And as you're walking through the church, she's asking you questions. What happened to them?
We were attacked. My friend Lady Faunalyn was invited to a ball, and we were there, and on our way out, some man made out of locusts attacked us.
A man made out of locusts?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think the food at the ball might have been poisoned because Lady Faunalyn was the only one who ate something, and she fell really, really ill before we were attacked as well.
Okay, so she may have been poisoned. Clearly, all three of you have been burned rather badly. Looks like she's also been stabbed. Okay. And she is going to set to work. She runs off and comes back with just a handful of different reagents and starts mashing different leaves together, mixing them with water. She says a prayer over it and starts to glow with a faint yellow light. She works at this for the next little while. What are you doing while she tends to your friends?
Is there anyone else around?
At the moment, no. It's really late. It's after midnight at this point.
Mm.
It seems like the clergy have gone to bed. There's no worshipers at this time.
I guess I try to help with the healing and wrap my own wounds also.
Sure. Do you want to give me a medicine check?
Medicine. That's not good. 7.
You try and help out, but I think as you're moving around and helping her with her work, you start to feel the extent of your injuries and just how bad you yourself feel and start to get a little lightheaded, and she forcefully escorts you to one of the beds and makes you lie down and puts a cold cloth on your forehead and says, "Okay, no, please just lie still. I will tend to you in a second. I am trying to counteract whatever toxin is in your friend. And I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry to come so late at night. I just didn't know where else to go.
No, of course. This is a safe place for anyone who seeks Macrog's light. You have every right to have come here, and I will do whatever is in my powers to ensure your friends are okay. Perhaps you should get some sleep, and I will awake you if anything changes, or if I require help after all.
Okay. Yes, please do. Also, keep an ear out, I guess, to see if there's any news from Prelmy Manor, if anyone else has been attacked or injured. I would like to know.
Certainly. If any news comes, I shall alert you, of course.
Okay, thank you so much. And then Clay faints on the spot.
Yeah, you pass out. Faunalyn.
Yes.
The last thing you see is fire. The carriage is burning around you. Your skin is burning, your dress is burning, and you collapse on the roof of this carriage. When you open your eyes, you find yourself sitting within a carriage. It appears to be night. It moves gently down some forest path. You look around, and you see that there are 3 other people in the carriage with you. There's a woman with a sort of coppery red hair. She is middle-aged and looks extremely stressed. There's an older man with long white hair, bleeding from a cut on his face. And there's a child. He's got black hair, though you can see a bit of red poking out at the roots. All 3 of them are elves.
Who do I recognize them as?
Your mother, your grandfather, and your brother.
Whoa.
What?
I'm gonna take inventory of myself. Am I covered in burns?
No.
Okay.
You are not burned. You are not wearing the dress you collapsed in. There is no large puncture wound in your chest or stomach. You're wearing a nightgown, pajamas, if you will.
I am going to tear off a little piece of my nightgown off the bat and reach over and dab at the blood on my grandfather's face and ask, what happened to you? Where are we?
He takes your hand and kind of squeezes it, and then slowly moves the scrap of fabric out from your fingers and holds it up to his cheek and says, "Oh, don't you fret, little one. Just a small scratch. We'll be fine. You and I were made of tough stuff."
Yes, you and I are made of the strongest wood of Ulethorthiad. But what is going on?
He doesn't respond, and he just looks out the window of the carriage, absentmindedly.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to my mom and brother, and I'm gonna take my brother's hand the way we would have held hands when we were little kids, but I'm going to say, this had better not be like a death thing, because if you're both dead, I'm really going to kill myself. What is going on?
This is not a death thing. Do not speak of such matters. We are merely going somewhere on a vacation. That's all. We'll be leaving for a little while, and when we come back, everything will be back the way it was supposed to be.
What sort of vacation? Where are you going?
Mom says we can't be here anymore. That people want to hurt Dad.
Not a death thing, it's a memory. Interesting. Okay, so Faunalyn's been in this carriage before, eh?
You look around. It is a lavish carriage with silken pillows and wood that you can't tell from here, but you think that the wood singers of the forest have managed to carve this from a single piece using nothing but their voices. You hear the sound of an animal outside, and though you can't see it, you know it's a great white elk. And I'd say you look out the window, and at first you think it's snowing, but you soon realize it's ash, slowly raining down around you. Further out in the night, you see these massive trees, larger than any you have seen since leaving these woods. But in the distance, you see a mansion, engulfed in flames, and the fire is spreading to these massive trees, threatening to consume them all.
Right. So fantastic of my dying subconscious to take me to what ranks as the number one worst day of my life. But at least I've got company. So here's the thing. Mum, dying ill, Grandpa. I'm in a bit of a pickle on the other side. The vacation, it goes well, but I don't enjoy it for very long. And I've sort of carved a niche for myself. And the niche is rather crumbling away. And Bad Man, who's made of bugs, has just turned me into elf ceviche. Actually, that's not even an apt comparison, because ceviche is uncooked, and I'm actively on fire, I think, right now. So, I guess I just don't know what to do. Should I give up what I've worked for and run a second time? Do I stand and fight, even though this man felled me like a tree? I don't know. I suppose I could really use... I mean, Dianil, you're like a baby right now, so I don't know how much you'll have to offer. It is so good to see you, though. I don't know. I guess I just need some help.
The young boy, Dianil, looks up at you and says, I'm scared, Goose.
Right. Well, like Mommy said, you don't need to be scared at all. We're just going on a little trip.
From in the darkness, you look past him, and you see this massive, sprawling wooden bridge. It's as if the branches have woven together to form this natural pathway through the trees. And you see an elf, sword drawn, fighting off two others. And he cuts one of them down, only to be cut himself, and he comes crashing down, landing next to the carriage in a broken heap.
I'm gonna pull him into a hug with his head, against my chest, so he's not looking out the window. Well, maybe it's okay to be a little bit scared. I already did this. I had a practice run, and I'm a bit scared too. But we can be scared and still do what we need to do, which is just to keep going and to keep our heads down and to do what Mum and Granddad tell us to do. And everything's going to be okay, right? I wouldn't lie to you unless it was about something really, really interesting.
He looks up at you with these dark eyes, but they're a little different. There is nothing but darkness. There's no white to his eyes.
Oh, no.
And he says to you, if the light of the fire burns us, perhaps we should seek the dark.
That's...
The carriage starts to burn. It's becoming a pyre, consuming you. Your nightgown catches, your hair catches, and you begin to scream. You scream, and you scream, and you scream, and you wake up in a dark room. A woman is holding your shoulders down, saying, shh, 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 it's okay, you're fine. Here, take this. And she holds a bowl up to your lips.
I'll push it away because I was poisoned earlier, and I am kind of floundering. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Where am I? Is this death? Because it's so badly decorated.
Give me a athletics check.
Athletics check, you say? Haha, that's a sexy 7.
She forces your mouth open and pours a thick liquid into your mouth. She says, it's fine, you're fine. Just swallow this. You'll wake up feeling much better, I promise.
Wake up! Are you putting me under again? But I think I kind of choke on it and imbibe some.
The edges of your vision go blurry. You can just make out the shapes of Glimki to one side and Clay to the other. And you sleep.
No, can I use my deadened arm to kind of try to grab Glimki and shake? And I want to kind of slur out, "Don't let them bury me in blue."
Glimki. The last thing you saw before everything went dark was the sprawling branches of the Prima woods spanning above you, trees fighting for space amongst the stars, woven together, competing. And you open your eyes. You're no longer on the roof of a carriage. You're in, you think, a bed, perhaps. It's soft, it's comfortable. But as you move a little, it rustles, almost like crunching. And you look around and realize you're not in a bed, you're not on a carriage. You are in a bed of leaves. Ash gray leaves.
Can I see anything else?
Yeah. You look around. You are lying on your back, far up above you. You can see the shape of a great bird wreathed in flame. Otherwise, the night is, or the day rather, it was night when you fell asleep, it is day now. Appears to be still. There is a sprawling blue expanse above you. Much of your view is obscured by the branches of this ash gray tree. But I'd say there's maybe not much to see from your current position. A lot of it is obscured by these branches. You do hear somewhere below you what you think is the muffled tones of conversation.
Interesting. Glimki will kind of turn over onto his knees and try to brush away some of the gray leaves to see if he can see the ground, I guess, or where the sound is coming from.
Yeah, you part these leaves, trying to get a better look, and you see that you are hundreds of feet off the ground. Far below you, you see 3 figures. One is a crow. And although you are far, far up, it's extremely large. You estimate probably the size of your home and dwells. You've seen smaller crows, you've seen larger crows. This one is the size of a small house. It is perched on a rock next to a slowly moving stream. In the stream, water pooling and flowing around it, is an enormous gray frog with dark spots. And seated upon the frog is a woman with pale skin and dark hair. She's seated sort of cross-legged, looking at the crow.
I think Glimki would call out to Malare and kind of just shout it down from the treetops.
The crow looks at you and cocks its head. It then turns to look at the woman and says,
"The gnome is under my protection. He is not yours to meddle with."
The woman responds,
"He sought me out. I merely aided him in his time of need."
And Glimki can hear this?
You can. Though you are hundreds of feet away, and they do not appear to be shouting, you can make it out.
Does he have any of his stuff, like his satchel, or I'm gonna dig around in my pockets for that gray acorn?
You do not have a satchel, you do not have a pack, you do not have your fancy tuxedo or your walking stick, but you do have a vest, and you reach into this pocket, and you find an ash gray acorn.
And Glimki's gonna shout down again to the woman this time. I don't belong to you. Malare is my god, and I want to throw the acorn as hard as I can.
It lands in this stream and slowly floats away. And Malare spreads his wings and flies up to you and lands in one of these branches.
Climb aboard.
Glimki just kind of nods silently and gets on.
He slowly spirals down back towards the ground and once again lands on this rock. The woman looks at him again, and you hear her voice, though her mouth remains closed. And you realize it is coming from the frog.
Old Crow, did you really think we wouldn't notice a green knight bearing your stench? The boy was broken. As protector of my domain, I had every right to spare him. That is all I did. The gods will not agree. You caught ruin. Ruin has already come. It arrived the day the Guis Satma was forged.
That what was forged?
Would you like to make a religion check?
Yes. 7. Sexy 7.
That is a sexy 7, and it means nothing to you.
Damn it. What was the word, though? What was the word?
Guis Satmal?
Nice, perfect.
Yeah, you are perched upon the crow's back. Are you staying up there?
Yeah, for sure.
The woman and the frog, Vemel, collectively stare up at Mulare, and this time sort of alternating who is speaking, but forming just one continuous sentence.
What are your plans for him? My business is my own, and my covenant with Treefellow is as well. Don't be so sure. The Parashad will hear of this. They will decide.
The Parashad. What is that? Can I do another religion check?
I would say no.
Dang
Glimki would
it.
have no way of knowing this.
It's a new word. It's a new word.
And Vemel turns their attention to you and says,
A bargain was struck. You will honor your word.
and then the woman steps off of the frog and just dissolves into thousands of smaller gray frogs as they swim away on this stream.
Whoa. What is going on, Malare? Who's the Parashad? What do you have planned for me?
I return to our previous conversation. There is a darkness out there, and I merely ask that you watch over the light. Nothing more.
And what about that gray frog? What do they want?
Give me call it a persuasion check.
15.
He stares at you for a very long time, cocking his head, and just one big eye the size of a window takes you in. You see yourself reflected in it.
My kind is bound to the lands that we inhabit. For me, it is the land you call dwells. I have invested in you, but a glimmer of my power. And there are some amongst my kind who take issue, claiming it is perhaps an attempt to expand my domain, or otherwise exert influence where I should not.
So, because you chose to save me and invest some of your power in me, you've slated me against a whole cacophony of other gods that seem to have a problem with me too?
Perhaps not all of them. There are some sympathetic to my cause.
To protect the light, as you put it.
Precisely. Admittedly, there are others who would see you as a transgression and will not welcome you warmly as you enter their domains.
I see. Well, forgive me, Malare, but I mean, look at the state of me. It seems that perhaps your investment was not enough to withstand the tests that I'm going to have to go through. So, if possible, is there anything else you can offer me? prepare me for what's to come.
You are but a sapling, and you of all should know that a sapling's roots may penetrate even the hardest stone. Stay steadfast, and beware the offerings of the gods. You do not need them. You need no other but myself.
I see that, and I want to trust you. I have no reason to doubt. And I cast out that gray acorn more as a sign to you than to break a promise to some other spirit. I simply ask if there's something, even some kind of omen or knowledge or something, just so, I'm not caught by surprise. Hell, I might be dead right now.
I think you will find that an agreement struck with my kind is not so easily tossed away, Glimki Treefellow. Be careful in the days ahead.
Okay.
Reject the gods and embrace my kind, as your people did in the old days.
Like the spirits?
Aye.
Okay.
You will be my iconoclast, steadfast against the darkness. But for now, it's time we were both on our way. Until next time, Glimki Treefellow.
Bye.
His eye expands. The darkness of it pulls you in, and you return to whatever place you were before this. And you have been given the Iconoclast feature. Clay Campbell, lying in the dark of this room, sleep comes easily to you. Your body is exhausted. Your mind is exhausted. And you sleep. The dark cobblestone walls of this church envelop you. And when you open them, you find yourself in a dark cave. Stone floors beneath you. Walls wrapping up and around you. It's dark, almost impossible to see even with your dark vision, but it is a comfortable temperature. There seems to be some sort of latent heat in the air that warms you as you stand there. And as you stand there, a breeze sweeps past you, warm and smelling of brimstone.
Does Clay recognize this place?
Oh.
Then I think she's confused and will call out, "Sister, where am I?" and start looking around. Is there anything else to see?
You look around. There are stones and large rocks, some stalactites, and a little ways ahead of you, you see the glimpse of something white.
I go closer to it.
It's a skull.
Ooh. An animal skull or a human?
Humanoid.
Ooh.
It is completely clean. There's no flesh or blood or skin. Just pure white bone.
I back away from it. Are there other bones around, or is it just the skull?
As you start to look around, you see little piles all around you. Piles of bone.
Ooh.
Each one appears to approximate a humanoid. None appear to be animal in nature. And as you're looking around, from somewhere in the darkness, from the direction of that breeze, you hear a rumble.
Ooh, does Clay have her amulet with her?
You do.
I think she, instinctively clutches it. Does it react in any sort of way?
No. It feels warm against your skin. Comfortable.
Is there, how big is this cave? Is there anything to, hide behind?
It is longer than it is wide. I'd say maybe 15 feet across, and then it stretches off further than you can see into the darkness.
I guess she'll cautiously go towards where the breeze is coming from Is it like a cave opening?
You inch forward, and every so often, it is not a steady breeze. It is intermittent, and every so often it comes sweeping past you.
Like someone's breathing?
Possibly.
Ooh. Can I see anything from that direction?
You see a little pinprick of light.
I guess I just keep sneaking closer.
As you do, the pinprick gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It is moving faster towards you than you are towards it. And you realize it is a wall of fire,
Ooh.
red hot, filling this tunnel, sweeping towards you.
What the fuck?
I guess Clay turns and runs.
You run. You run as fast as you can. You reach the spot where you first opened your eyes and you keep running. You run, but you are not fast enough. The fire envelops you, burns you in a way the fire on the carriage could never, and you feel yourself melted away to a pile of bone.
What?
As your eyes burn from your skull, a distant voice says something in a language you don't understand. And you open your eyes. In the bedchamber of the Dragon's Heart Cathedral, light is trickling in from a nearby window, and dawn has arrived.
What the heck?
Yeah, what is going on?
It's dawn? Is there any new people in the room? Or is it just the same as when I fell asleep?
You open your eyes, you look around, and you see Brightscale Warwick Hummold seated in a chair in the corner. There is a small table pulled up next to him, and he's writing on a scroll with a feather pen, and he notices that you have awoken and quickly puts the pen down and rushes towards you and says,
Clay, are you all right?
Am I all right? Can I quickly take stock of, am I on fire? Are my injuries still what they were when I went to bed?
you are not on fire. You have eyeballs, which is huge. Your skin is somewhat burned, especially around your arms, not too badly. Your side hurts from where the owlbear carved into it, but it seems like the skin has been woven back together, presumably by some amount of divine magic. You are sore, you are stiff, but you are otherwise unharmed. There might be a small scar.
Okay. Oh, Warwick Brightscale, I don't know, honestly. So much happened last night. We were attacked at the Prelmi ball by a man made out of locusts. Have you ever heard of anything like that before?
No, I can't say that I have, though curious things are amongst us every day.
Yeah, I think I don't know, gotten myself into some deep shit. Like, it's pretty scary. And I don't know. How are my friends doing?
You look over, and Faunalyn is in the bed next to you. She is unconscious, is breathing shallowly. Her clothes have been swapped out. Her abdomen is bandaged up. There's burns on her forearms. You see she's not wearing her wig. It's just her natural red hair.
No!
Embarrassing.
And past her, you see Glimki on another bed. And he is lying there. He looks okay. Definitely has some pretty bad looking burns on his exposed skin. Kind of got one on his neck. And you think probably the pillows here are down stuffed pillows because there appears to be a small black feather sticking out of his hair.
Oh,
Cool.
interesting. The fire didn't burn any of the like branches and leaves he had there originally.
The ends of his hair are singed. The leaves are remarkably intact.
Nice.
At least from what you can tell, they do not appear to have been harmed.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it's a relief to see that they're still there and breathing. Brightscale, do you know what happened at the Prelmy Manor yesterday? Did you hear anything about anything that went on there?
I'm afraid not. I was awoken a few hours ago by Sister Boone, who alerted me that you and your friends had come here. Sister Boone cared for you throughout the night, and I have just been sitting here to await your awakening. I have not heard anything from the outside world yet.
Okay, yeah, because things were really weird at the ball, and I think, there's something going on, and yeah, it's just pretty scary that I was attacked, and I'm pretty sure they're coming after me. I really didn't know where else to go.
Who is coming after you, Clay?
The prince from Onos. I think the Prince of Onos. He's involved with the princess's disappearance somehow. I think I really messed up, and now they're coming after me as well. And I really just don't know what to do.
This is a rather serious allegation. I am not personally familiar with this Prince Malfirth, but given what I know of the nobility, let alone royalty, I would urge you to be careful who you share these fears with or these beliefs with. If this prince is responsible for an attempt on your life, well, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that you're in great danger.
Of course. I don't know. I guess I can't go to the guard with this. I don't know who might be involved, what kind of power he has over them or anyone else.
That's a good point.
So I guess I'm on my own. I don't know. Yeah. Do you know how long before my friends will wake up?
Well, I would like to say you are welcome to stay here as long as you require. Other than Sister Boone, no one knows that you are here, so you can stay here for as long as you need. The woman, she is... Not only was she nearly destroyed by a rather terrible puncture wound as well as some burns, she was also poisoned. She should hopefully awaken soon, though she is likely to be in a rather weakened state. As for your friend, I believe he is stirring now.
And Glimki, you slowly awaken to the sound of two people having a conversation.
I'm gonna stretch and roll over and pretend I'm still sleeping.
I think if Clay sees that Glimki moved, she's gonna go towards him.
I'm sleeping.
Okay.
God damn it.
I'm like, Glimki, are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake now.
Are you okay?
Surprisingly, yeah, I feel okay-ish. Except for here, and here.
Oh. Yeah, I brought us back to the church. I didn't really know where else to go.
This was the best place. You made the right call. It was this or the shady doctor, so I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, me and Warwick were just discussing, what happened last night. And actually, Bright Skill Warwick, do you know what kind of poison Faunalyn got poisoned with?
Good question. While you're thinking about it, what kind of magic turns man into a locust and vice versa?
Well, I am unsure exactly what type of poison was in your friend, but I think I could say that with
poisons, there are various means of administering them. They can be administered through contact or through injury or inhalation. And given that the concentration of this poison was within your friend's stomach, we could confidently say it was a poison that requires ingestion. There are various poisons that fit that description, so I'm afraid I can't say decisively what it was. But I can say it was extremely potent. It was terrible luck that you were attacked on top of her being poisoned. The poison may have been enough to kill her in its own.
How's she doing now?
She should be all right. She was given a neutralizing agent. She should be groggy for some time. But she should live.
Well, that's good.
As for your other question, I am familiar with magics possessed by druids that would allow them to summon a swarm of locusts. I can't say I'm familiar with any particular magics that would allow one to transform into a swarm of locusts. Perhaps an individual locust, but...
Okay, wait. So maybe it's both? Maybe he was turning into a locust and summoning a swarm? Or did he not dissipate
He was able to like teleport.
into...
Yeah, no, wait. He turned into a swarm of locusts and flew away at the end, right?
He for sure did.
What the hell?
I'm asleep, but he for sure did.
He was made of locusts.
Right. Well, Mr. Warwick, it seems that even in your great expanse of knowledge, there are new things to be discovered, including locust swarm magic, apparently.
Apparently. We truly live in a city of wonders.
Apparently, yes. Wow.
Can I like pat my bod? I was like surrounded by a swarm of locusts. Are there any like dead locust corpses in my clothes or anything like that? Like any remnants of them?
Give me an investigation check. We'll say you like get up. You've been changed into other clothes as well, but we'll say you can go over and check your pile of folded, charred laundry.
I got a 16.
Come on now.
You look around, you rifle through your pockets, check inside the jacket of the jacket you were wearing. He's such a wordsmith. And unfortunately, you do not find any locusts. There was, if you recall, a lot of fire. Presumably, any locusts that were on your person were consumed by said fire when you were dragging your friends off the carriage, if there were any to begin with.
Okay, so no trace of anything.
Warwick stands up and says, I should leave you to rest. As I said, you may stay here as long as you wish. I will have some food sent your way. And if you require me, feel free just to ask Walter. He will fetch me in short order, I'm sure. And he stands up and exits the room. And as he opens the door, a small, ruddy boy is nearly knocked off his feet as he was listening at the door. And you are left alone. A little while later, breakfast is brought to you. And as the smell of fresh porridge and some fruit enters the room, Faunalyn begins to stir, and you awaken.
Oh my god.
Faunalyn.
We alive?
Yes. Yes,
Only
we're
just.
alive.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but last night was really traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saying something.
You guys almost died.
Yeah, and my death place was like reliving the most traumatic night of my life.
The death place?
Did you have nightmares too?
Yeah, like, do you think that for all eternity I'm just going to be in a carriage running for my life? Like, is that hell for me?
No. I think those fluttering moments in your subconscious are maybe guilt or a moment of regret or something you wish you could change. I don't think there's a death place.
Yeah. Last night was really hellish, but you know, we're alive still. We got out of there.
I didn't. Maybe I need to get right with the gods. I don't know if that's my death place. Glimki, I know you said it wasn't, but like on whose authority, you know? Clay, I guess Clay's the religious-y one. What do you think, Clay?
I don't know. I mean, I brought us back to the church and I also had nightmares last night. I think it was just a very stressful time. Yeah, I don't know what you dreamed about, but I dreamed of fire, and it was not good.
Are there any priests around?
At the moment, you three have been left alone in this bedchamber.
I will save this line of inquiry for later. Okay, well, are you two all right? I mean, I seem to be okay, I think.
Yeah,
I got 10 fingers and 10 toes. I'm feeling okay.
What do we even do now? That was bad and scary. And I kind of think we should go to the guards, but then what do we even say? That a man made of insects tried to kill us, but we're fine now.
I don't know if we can go to the guards. It seems like more people are involved than we thought or knew about.
It's a good point, and I mean, if this Prince Malford has the
Influence.
influence that he seems to have, maybe it's not the best idea.
And we still don't know what happened to the Prelmies. Like, if you were poisoned, what did you eat at the ball?
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Okay, I ate various aperitifs, like plate foods. I actually didn't get a bite of ceviche, so I don't think it's ceviche poisoning. I did accept a drink from a man who previously, in all likelihood, tried to kill me. But like, I watched him the whole time. You know, if he put something in it, he's got incredible sleight of hand. And I'm a rogue, so that's saying something. Okay, I don't know. Do we think it was Malverth who tried to kill us last night? I think it was, and I don't know why. I just think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, Clay, you mentioned the butcher. What's to say that that guy wasn't a butcher? This locust figure.
He mentioned something about getting the butcher to finish what he started.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think the locust man that we encountered yesterday is probably also responsible for Riggs and Una and Patrick.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
That's sensible. So do we want to find out who he is?
The locust man?
I think he was sent by the prince for sure. He's on to us.
Yeah, I think the prince, how do you put it? The jig is up. We're definitely on the radar. We are the radar. There's no hiding from this anymore. They know that we know something, and they will not be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I actually think maybe we should flee the city. Like now. Like, I think we should maybe get on a boat and go to the Anchor's Chain. Like, I think maybe we rapid fire, interrogate a few people, get as much intel as we can, and then get the hell out of here. Because I don't like it here anymore, and I'll be damned if I spend a night at the Berthold's house. I'll be damned if I spend a night at Berthold Manor and put Fallow in danger. So, I don't know. I spoke to like 4 people at the party. 3 people. I blackmailed... variously threatened 4 people. I guess you two don't know this. So on my way out, I basically, oh my god, in my dream, I saw, this is so poetic. I saw a bridge and everything was on fire. And do you think that's metaphorical for me, like, burning bridges and setting things on fire?
No, I don't see the relation.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either. I agree. Ugh. I almost self-reflected there. It was disgusting.
But that does bode well for my thought earlier, how it may be just your conscious and not a death place.
Yes. That's such a relief because I really didn't want to get right with God. I like being wrong with God. It's more liberating.
That's interesting.
Okay, that was a judgmental tone from a man of the woods. Your God is like probably dirt or something.
That's rude.
Am I wrong? They would honestly look me in the eyes and tell me I'm wrong.
It would be a god of dirt, not dirt god.
Forgive me.
Very important distinction.
I'm sure when the time comes for me to repent, I'll learn to appreciate that distinction. And I'm very glad the time for me to repent has not come today. Because I'm hoping to do bad things before we go. I talked to Malverth and I was like, I know you want to kill us, so give it your best shot, bitch. Huh? And then I left him immediately, and I immediately went up to someone else, and I didn't even remember.
Wait, what? Yes. Sorry, pardon? Sorry, we were under the impression that I thought it was my fault when I called somebody out, and Clay said that she overheard someone talking about sending the butcher. You specifically challenged?
It was assuredly your fault, Glimki, because they only called in the butcher because of your little thing. So I was just adding a little bit of, magnesium to the fire to make the flames a little sparkly or
Why?
whatever. I was in a rage. He tried to steal my servant. And it was cool at the time. I promise if you had been there, you would have been like, you go, girl. It was cool. Then I walked up to someone else and I
Yeah.
don't even remember what I said to him, but I was basically like, come see me if you want, or I'm going to ruin your life. And then I walked up to Electrovoon and I was like, come see me because we both want to ruin Prince Malfurth's life. So actually that one was nice. And then I walked up to, you're not going to like this one. I walked up to Bakra Prailme and I was like, I know what you did to your brother's girlfriend. Come see me. I'm going to ruin your life. But that one's good actually. I stand by that one because now we know about like the necromancy going on in the basement. It's actually like I buried the lead. Like she's going to sit down and be like, let's talk about my brother's girlfriend. And I'll be like, I don't want to talk about that silly issue. I want to talk about the bones, which is better. It's good. You know, you never show someone your full hand of cards. And I have mostly been flashing people my full hand of cards for a while. So it's nice that I'm learning. And also, I don't really know, except that I think we should maybe have some of those conversations. Oh my God, we're supposed to meet the detective. I'm so popular.
Yeah, we got a lot of irons in the fire right
shit.
now. Earlier, you said something about ditching this place and getting on a ship. I kind of like that idea because you know what? They know that we know, but they don't know how much we know. Why would they expect us to hop on a boat, start chasing down the next portion of the lead?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, we gotta see Invisible Top Hat McGee one more time, maybe before we go, or Johnny the Rat Man. Those are all things that could help, maybe, but we know we gotta go to the Anchor's Chain.
Yes. And if we go sooner rather than later, there's less of a chance that someone will try to murder us again, which I like. I
Shoot,
like that
wait,
part.
but we sent Johnny, Jimmy, whatever his name is, after the prince.
Oh, yes.
We have no idea where we would even meet him.
The sewer, right? Like, we know where he lives.
I suppose. If he made it away from the prince. Okay, we gotta keep the list short of stops before we, commandeer a boat.
Do we know where the prince headed off to? Like, is he fleeing? He
so.
left the ball pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And what is up with the necromancy thing? What is that all about?
Yeah, try not to think about that one.
It's like a
Okay.
cool and engaging B plot, though. You know, like if we had decided to explore the basement, I bet there would have been like a fun side quest.
I'm sure it means something. It's probably pretty apparent.
It means I've got heather ammo with which to shoot back row with.
Can we rewind back to the moment that things started to hit the fan in the carriage? There was a lot of noises and bell chimes. Did we hear stuff coming from the house as well? Zach, can you remind us? Did we have other noises? It was just the bells?
There was bells ringing. There was a birdman on the roof watching you go.
Right.
Then it was suddenly silent, and there was a bunch of locusts swirling around you.
So we didn't really hear, we didn't hear other, screaming or anything from the manor or anything.
Nope.
We heard Carlston shout, I think.
Because he got gutted
Murked.
and he's quite dead.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, yes. Who's the speed bump now? Am I right? Oh my God. I should get right with God. I should get right with all of them.
At least one.
No, just pick maybe the God of Dirt.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't just start things with Rothbard, Voon, and Prailme for fun. I started it because we think perhaps they know things about the princess's disappearance, especially, I think, Bakra. So I think of the three, if we've got to prioritize who to speak with, I think Bakra ought to be the one. As for Marlin Whisperhands, I believe I had asked him to gather information about who had killed Clay's friends. And
Now we know.
I think we have a little bit more information now. I think if Jimmy Gnawbones can, I don't know, do you think that would be helpful anymore?
But we don't know where the prince went off to.
Yeah.
If Jimmy's still with him, or if he was caught, I don't know.
Okay. So I do think we should speak to Bakra, because if she can tell us which island in the Anchor's Chain... Oh, and then we have to secure a boat. My God, we have a lot of bureaucratic work to get through before we can flee for our lives. I have two ideas about a boat. The first is that I overheard. Who did I overhear? Zach, can you tell me who I overheard talking about the boat? Because the note I took on that is on my other computer. At the dinner party, it was the man who was bragging about his new boat.
Was it Count Bozek?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, he was specifically mentioning about a campaign to rid the Anchor's Chain of ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. So we might be able to get perhaps a ride with him, Count Bozek. And then there was Garfield.
I'd like to point out, not Count Bozek, Count Bozek.
Count.
Kont is his
The
first
Count,
name.
yes, the
Nope,
Count
not a-
Count Bozek.
He's not a count.
What's his title?
Count.
As far as you know, he does not have one.
Okay, the Viscount.
No.
The Viscount, sorry. So that's 2 boats. Also Xerxes. I could probably blackmail Xerxes into giving us a boat, but I'm really, really tired of threatening people. I don't know if I'm even that good at it.
I feel like we could probably just get a ride. Stowaway, maybe.
Like with Garfield or Count Bozek.
Or just stowaway. I've done it.
We can volunteer ourselves for this ghost campaign and then just sneak off.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've done quite a bit of sailing myself, actually.
Have you really?
Can you sail a
And
boat?
by sailing, I mean, yeah, I just, hopped on a boat. I mean, I don't take up that much space, so people didn't really have that much trouble with it.
Is there a way we can do that?
Okay, well, I'm gigantic, so
It probably won't be that hard.
maybe we could go into barrels.
Barrels, boxes, bags.
Yeah, but that didn't work very well for Patrick Fasthand, so who knows what would happen.
Hey. How quickly we move
Okay.
on.
Rest in peace, Patrick.
What do you guys think we should do? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't.
I don't know.
I think our lives are in danger, and for sure, I don't think we can get out of this unharmed. And probably the best thing to do is just get ahead of it and try to solve the mystery
I mean,
and
yeah.
get to the bottom of this before things catch up with us even more.
We should do? We should send out a message to Johnny somehow through the sewers. Just send a message. Jimmy John, Johnny Jim John. We should send a message to Johnny to just get on a boat, Jimmy.
Meet us at the Anchor's Chain.
Yeah, exactly. What does he have to lose besides his love of his boss boyfriend? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I think the Eyes of Erdenine would want to know what's going on as well in the city.
Probably safer for him on a boat as well.
We want to take Jimmy with us?
Yeah.
It's a good idea, and yet then we have to hang out with Jimmy. So is it really
but
that good
he's
of an idea?
So good at sneaking around. So good at sneaking
I'm
around.
maybe good at sneaking around too. You guys haven't let me try it very much,
You
but I'm
like
also
to blackmail
probably
everyone
good
you
at
run
it.
into.
I can be good. I can stop when I want to.
I don't think you should stop. It's just 2 different tools.
Okay, all right, fair. I don't. He talks like, I'm Jimmy Gnawbones. It's just so
Yeah,
so
That was
much.
really good.
that's true.
Bada bing, bada boom. Let me see your panties. I don't care for it.
Well, we can sit around deliberating about who's seeing whose panties, or we can try to figure out where to go.
I think we should definitely get our stuff from Berthold Manor. And I don't think we can go back
for sure.
there.
Definitely.
for any
We
length
need
of
to get our
time.
stuff.
Pick up our
Get our
stuff,
stuff. Yeah.
figure out the quickest way to the Anchor's Chain,
Mm-hmm.
and,
And get the hell out of Dodge.
yeah, lay low.
So you guys don't want to speak to any of the people that I blackmailed because I put in a lot of work into blackmailing them.
Where did you say you had to meet them, or when to meet them?
Mm-hmm.
I think I basically was like, tomorrow is good.
That's today.
If I may,
Mm-hmm.
Electravoon, you said, meet me at dawn in the Sapphire District.
Yeah, we're late.
I'm late.
Klatir Keldar,
I'm late for my play date.
you said,
I completely forgot about him.
you said, come
cares
find
anymore?"
me. You know where to find me. You said effectively the same thing to Bakra Prailme and Ulbrin Rothbard.
I'm so bad at scheduling. This is why we have servants. Like, this is why you have a secretary. Okay, we've got to go because I'm really worried that we're going to go to the Berthold's house and it's going to be like the worst surprise party of all time. Like, I
Oh
think
my
we need
God.
to go there immediately.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go rapidly, please.
Fuck.
I wish Erdenine had cell phones or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. A cell phone would be so... I could just call Cloutier and be like, text me, you know?
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot simpler.
Yeah.
We could just everyone just text.
It's called sending.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
As you are getting up or discussing, there is a knock at the door.
We're busy. There's blackmail afoot.
Shush, no, you're not supposed to say that part.
Oh.
You'll get it eventually.
Who's at the door?
Terribly sorry to bother you. Might I come in, though?
Is this Walter?
It is not. You recognize it as Sister Boone.
Oh, yeah. Come in. What's going on? Did you hear anything?
The door opens, and this middle-aged woman, human woman, comes in. She's wearing a different set of robes, and she says, I can't say that I heard anything, no, but I thought you ought to know that there was a man inquiring about you. A minute ago, we sent him on his way, but he was asking about you.
Who? What did he look like?
Somewhat lanky fellow, stringy dark hair, was dressed in a brown woolen cloak.
I legitimately have no idea.
Did he give a name?
Jimmy! Jimmy Bones!
Was
Faunalyn rushes to the window, and you see slinking in the shadows of this courtyard is a hooded figure who briefly turns his head, and you see the profile of Jimmy Gnawbones.
let him in, let him in.
That's so funny.
Jimmy.
The sister hurries out of the room, and you watch from the window as Jimmy is almost out of the courtyard and hears her shouting at him, and he comes back, and he kind of takes a long, slow look up at this church, looking very uncomfortable, and then steps in. And a moment later, he is brought into your chamber, and Sister Boone closes the door behind her and leaves the four of you alone.
Wow.
Well. I gotta say, y'all look like shit.
And I feel even worse.
That's a good thing you knew to come here.
You're not much to look at yourself, Jimmy John.
What happened yesterday?
Okay, now let's unpack that, because I personally had a good night's sleep. I look pretty good. So if you think there's something wrong with me, I'd like to hear it from your lips.
Look, Jimmy, I'm sorry. We've all had an incredibly horrible night.
So, yeah, okay, I probably could have read the room a little better. I was coming in up here. Maybe I should bring it down. Jimmy Gnawbones' morning show, we're a little more relaxed. Frankly, I don't need to hear what happened to you. Looks like you almost got killed. Sorry to hear about that. For what it's worth, I almost got, but you should have done what I did and run away, because I did good.
Jimmy, did anyone follow you?
Don't think so. But after...
No, Jimmy. And Glimki runs across the room and kind of grabs onto his jacket. I need you to be so sure right now. Did anyone follow you?
I give it like a 90% no. How about I tell you what happened, and you can decide if whatever bad thing happened to you after we said goodbye is about to happen again.
Okay. Yeah.
So, long story short, as you instructed, I crept up, hopped aboard the carriage, and here's where things went bad. They spotted me pretty quick. Not gonna lie. They spotted me pretty quick, and I wasn't able to stick around for long. Jumped out the window, very heroic. Managed to avoid getting eaten by an owlbear. All things considered, I did great. For those of you at home, Jimmy had to roll a contested athletics check against two other people. He rolled a 17, and they both rolled natural ones.
Wow.
Oh, good job, Jimmy.
God dang.
So anyways, I didn't hear much. They seemed mad about you guys. They were talking some mad shit about yous. But I can say this. They're leaving town.
Did you hear where they were going?
Didn't hear that. Just heard they were headed towards the Pearl District. Something about catching a ship.
They're already gone.
They're going to the Anchor's Chain, for sure. or somewhere. God damn. Okay.
What do we do with
Jimmy,
that, though?
I'm
It's
so-
not like we can confront
So
them.
thankful you're alive.
Yes. Well done, Jimmy. Really well done.
Thank yous.
You don't think they'd be stupid enough to put their ship on the logs? I got a friend down at the docks. He likes
What
fish.
does on the logs mean? Like, oh, on the written logs. I was imagining
Yeah.
like logs. I'm from a forest. Do you understand?
Same?
You probably thought of logs too then.
For a moment, yes.
I thought of poop.
Nice. Anyway.
Nice.
You're so consistent, Jimmy. I will say that for you.
No, I'd say sometimes I'm like a little horny freak, and then sometimes I'm like poop.
You know, depending on your circles,
There's a Venn diagram somewhere.
and I'm confident Jimmy is somewhere in the center of it. Find the worst part of the Venn diagram, and that's where Jimmy is. Actually, okay, wait.
Oh,
so
okay.
the prince went straight to the docks?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jimmy, thank God you're alive. They're going to the docks. We need to meet whomever you were supposed to meet this morning.
Mm-hmm.
What?
We gotta go.
Oh, you're talking to Faunalyn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's what's up. I'm gonna go. Pleasure doing business with you.
Wait, Jimmy, I have a proposition for you.
Okay, sure.
How would you like to do this voice for a fourth party member? No. Okay, sorry, Jimmy, I have a proposition for you.
Go on.
You have a very particular set of skills, okay?
That's right.
We're up to some risky business, and we could use all the help we can get.
Right.
Especially if it means boarding a ship, going to faraway lands, on a grand adventure. Look, you've served your purpose. You and
Thank you.
and Brutus, right?
That's right. Very good.
Brutus doesn't seem to be super keen on your performance lately. Why don't you just take a vacation?
I gotta say, he's pretty pleased about everything I told him about last night. His eyes turned into big old gold pieces.
You stopped there first.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, all right. Well, it's up to you. You want to be hot and cold with Brutus or go on a big old adventure?
Ever heard the saying, rats on a sinking ship? I think I'm personally good, especially given what happened to yous.
No, we're good. Look at us.
Y'all, did I mention it looks like you all almost died? You're looking like a piece of charcoal.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go back to my more easy, cozy life.
That's honestly respectable.
Peace and blessings. I'm sure this isn't the last you'll see of me, because I'm Jimmy Gnawbones. And he walks out the door.
Stay safe, Jimmy.
Never have, never will.
All right, we got to meet your rendezvous, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all of them. I really should have been like, you 9 o'clock, you 9:30. But I think they're just all gonna, we should go. I need something that covers my head. I'm thinking if I roll up in a Priest of Macrog robe, that will be badass, and I want to do it.
But that's kind of got blasphemer written all over it.
I don't want to get the bright scale in trouble for,
Yeah.
I don't want someone to come here looking for me.
Okay, well, I need a shirt. So you guys are telling me I can't wear a shirt?
No, they have other clothes here. I just feel like we shouldn't broadcast.
We're leaving a wake of potential, loose ends that these people are going to come and tear apart.
Oh, okay. No, that's actually a really good idea because we probably don't want to implicate the good people of this temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point. Okay. People don't give me credit, but I know restraint. That was room for compliments.
Mhm.
It didn't get any. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. Usually you just have more to
It's
say.
I'm sure I'll get chattier. I'm just very traumatized at the moment.
That's fair. Let's get the fuck going.
Yeah.
All right.
Clock wipe.
So, yeah. You head out onto the streets and you're making your way back to Sapphire District?
Yep.
Sophia District.
Okay.
The Sapphire District.
So you exit this courtyard out onto a busy market street. The city has been bustling the last few days, ever since the king's announcement, but it seems like slowly things are returning to normal. Shops are open. Carriages are moving through the street, wagons, various people going about their business, including a familiar-looking man. With dark hair, he's middle-aged, seems to be in fairly good shape. He's dressed in dark maroon robes, and he's ringing a bell. And you hear him loudly proclaim, "Adonai news this hour, I'm Vince Langowitz. The city is reeling amidst reports that a member of the nobility has been taken in what appears to be yet another attack against our betters. Lady Faunalyn Vaydark has been reported missing after her carriage was discovered abandoned after last night's soiree at Burley Manor. The carriage had been torched and an unidentified body was located at the scene, although it is believed that this was not the Lady Vaydark. Anyone with information is asked to come forward. For up-to-date news, stay tuned in to me, Vince Langowitz." And he continues down the street, and a minute later starts up again with the same announcement.
Faunalyn, you're a missing person.
Oh my god, they can!
What if... Hold on. What if they're just spreading the word so someone finds you and tells somebody where you are?
Oh, they're trying to get someone to report finding you.
Oh, I have some narcissistic tendencies. So I'm going to interpret this as the world loves me very much. And oh, holy shit, we've got to get out of here. My name's in the newspaper. We've got to go soon.
Give her your cloak or shirt or something. Put it over her head.
Yes, I want to cover my head.
Yeah, people think you're missing.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I don't really look like myself right now, so...
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of the streets.
You continue along. Glimki, are you wearing I guess you wouldn't have a cloak. You would just have what you brought with you.
Or whatever fatigues or whatever they gave me from, though.
Yeah, we'll say just like it's a simple robe.
Mm.
We'll say it can have a hood if you want. And perhaps as you go to pull it up, your hand brushes against your hair and you feel something different. Not hair, not leaf.
Oh, the feather.
A feather.
Neat. I try to pluck at it. Is it attached?
It hurts.
The fuck? Just put the hood around a little tighter.
Perfect. And you continue along. The sound of the Ocean Crest Falls gets closer and louder. And before long, you are able to climb this great set of stairs, this more than 100 feet tall, that leads up into the upper part of the city. There are guards on duty, and as you approach, one of them stops you. It's this squat dwarf with a jet black beard and hair tied into a tight set of braids, and he looks at you and says,
"Aye, what's your business?"
We have information on the missing Lady Faunalyn Vaydark, and we must report it urgently to the Bertholds.
"Give me a persuasion check. Or deception."
That's a 19.
Ooh, nice.
He says,
"Hey, what kind of business? Or information? Hey, what kind of information?"
Sorry, are you deaf?
"What?" He holds up a horn to his ear.
Information about her whereabouts.
Aye, you don't need to shout. Very well. Clarence, escort these folks to Berthold Manor.
And a young human boy approaches you. He can't be more than 16. And he says, "Oh, hi there. Follow me. Actually, where am I going? I'll follow you."
Okay, let's go. I naturally lead the way to Vaydark Manor.
Perfect.
I mean, Berthold Manor. I mean, who really runs that house? You know what I'm saying?
Sure enough, you go through the streets of the Sapphire District. It's a beautiful summer's morning. Approaching noon, you slept in pretty late. But before long, you arrive at the gates. And this young guard, Clarence, walks you up to the front door. And he knocks. And a second later, the door is swung open. And he starts to say, "Excuse me, these folks seem to..." And he is pushed aside by Fallow, who runs and grabs you, Faunalyn, and just pulls you into a big hug.
Aww.
"Oh, thank goodness. I thought the worst. Are you okay?"
Like barely. It was the worst, but we can't be seen being too close. I'll explain later. It was very scary. Are you okay? Has anyone come here?
"Quite a few." And she steps aside And you see standing in the entry hall of Berthold Manor, Electra Voon, Patir Keldar, Akra Prailme, and Ulrin Rothbard.
The
Oh my
lineup.
God. Oh my god.
And that's where we're stopped tonight's episode of Bard Soup.
Oh no.
That's so funny. Oh, I think we need to like do it family therapy style. Like I think we need to sit everyone in a circle and be like, okay, background, you know what you don't want me to say. I'm going to say it right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to like tell everyone what I want to hear from them and have them all write it on a piece of paper or something. And then if they don't tell me what I want to hear, then I'll like say their secret out loud. I don't know. I'll get everybody in the room. Oh, what a mess. What do I do with this, guys? I think it's less interesting to talk to them all one-on-one. I think it's more fun if I can find some kind of collective way to do it.
No, I think we have some, like, I don't know. There might be an opportunity here. They obviously came for a reason.
Yeah.
They see some sort of either opportunity or connection or something, that's more favorable. And they waited.
Yeah. How many hours between dawn and noon? That's like 6 hours.
Yeah, they just hung out. Could be a good sign.
Interesting. Yeah, I think they're going to be on our side.
Or maybe they're going to murder you.
At this point, yeah, I hope they don't. But at this point,
yeah.
Anyway, that was really fun.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Bard Soup. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I am the Dungeon Master for this lovely little group, Zach Meikle. I am joined by Prima Zhao as Clay Campbell, Jordan Johnsen as Glimki Treefellow, and Shannon Meikle as Faunalyn Vaydark. If you're enjoying what you've been hearing, why don't you give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or that weird app that everybody wishes you'd stop using? Also, maybe follow us on TikTok or Instagram at bard_soup. We've got some good memes and videos up there, stuff that you'll like. We'll be back in, 2 weeks with a special Christmas one-shot. In the meantime, enjoy this failed attempt at an intro sequence. Bye! Hey, it's me. God. That's right. You haven't heard from me in a while. Probably because you stopped going to church.
Oh no.
Just lost half of our 30 listeners.
All right.
Wait a second, that did not go anywhere. You just seem to be God. Shame all the viewers. Activate all of their religious trauma. And then it didn't even resolve into a bit. You moved on.
Can this all stay in?
Why is this never scripted? Can we?
Can this all stay in?